Good morning, all of you students. So today our topic is about component diagrams. We have discussed about component in basic building blocks, and we studied separately component chapter. So can anyone tell me what is a component? Easy definition. I at least expect one of you to answer.
Is a replaceable part of a system.
Which have
Mm,
what it will have? Logical things. Packaging
Logical.
of logical things. So remember that. Okay. Okay, good. So the next one. So such components, and how do we represent a component? Two tabbed folder. Okay. So the grouping of or collaboration of such components we call as component diagrams. Okay. And the details today what we are going to discuss is about modeling source code, modeling executable releases, physical databases, and adaptable systems, forward and reverse engineering. These are the topics we study in detail. So let's move on to the introduction part of today's content. So as we know, there are 9 diagrams as per our textbook. So in real time, there are 12. So you can browse them. 12 diagrams are there. Okay. As part of our syllabus, we are learning uh, 9 only. So I expect all of you to learn the other 3 also. What are they? We want to you browse and let me know by next class. Next class I'll be doing with deployment diagrams. So at that time I'll be asking what are the other 3. So please browse and come for the next class. So here among 9 diagrams already we have studied that first 2 and last 2 are static diagrams. The other in between diagrams are behavioral diagrams. Okay. So we call component diagrams as one of the 2 diagrams that found in the modeling of the physical aspects of the object oriented systems. Okay, physical aspects means, so physically we can touch, feel, carry that and all. Okay, what you can see physically, you can visualize, we can see. So such things we call it as physical aspects. So what is the other diagram? What is the other physical aspect? Deployment diagrams, nodes. Okay, and if you see this example here, so this is a component diagram, and where the organization and the relationships among components are given. See, components means not only just the component will be there, on what are the other executables, other releases, other libraries it is depending on. So the collaboration of all the things showing how, where it exists, on whom it is depending on. So when we are able to show all the details, so then we can say that that is as a component diagram. So example here, find.exe. Exe means it's an executable. Okay, so that executable you are carrying in some physical device, which we call it as component.
The screen, ma'am.
Yes, ma, please mute yourself. Mute.
Ma'am, I'm
Yes,
asking
ma.
you, are you sharing the screen, ma'am?
Yes, ma. You are not getting.
Yes, ma'am, we are not getting your screen, ma'am.
Okay, again I will stop and share, ma. Please wait now. Now are you getting?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, mute yourself now. Lots of disturbance is coming. Okay, so this is the component diagram. So wherein we are talking about find.exe. It's an executable component. Okay, which can be carried in any of the devices. Say suppose if it something on your system which is existing in a library, what do? You get some physical device, no, where you can carry that software to install in your systems at home. Okay, the same thing you remember. Okay, .exe files. So in whichever device you carry that executable in order to load in your system, so that we call it as a component. And this may be depending on some DLLs. Sometimes we may need libraries, we may need some drivers. So accordingly we'll install and we'll see that the program what we wanted to be executed. So the collaboration of all the things, whether this executable is depending on what libraries and what are the other documents, either it can be a .html or .doc or .excel. So anything which is depending on this can be also shown. Okay, so such a diagram we call it as a component diagram. Okay, so this is the introduction of component diagrams. I hope this is not new for us. Already we have studied in component chapter, and today we are separately studying as component diagrams. Okay, so then the first part of component diagrams is about terms and concepts. So that is a terminology. So the basic definition I was going on repeating. A component diagram shows set of components and their relationships. And graphically how we show a component diagram, any diagram is a connected graph with vertices and edges. Whatever are vertices here, components. Okay, and whatever arcs and their relationship. So that is what we can see. So since it is a diagram chapter, what are the subheadings we have under terms and concepts? Common properties, contents and common uses. What are the main subheadings? Terminology, common modeling techniques, forward and reverse engineering. Okay. So moving on to common properties. How exactly each diagram is distinguished? This question I have given. How many of you wrote correct in yesterday's test? So a diagram can be distinguished from other diagrams by what? By its contents, by seeing what exactly it is having. So seeing its contents we can see. Okay, so the next subtopic is about contents. So what exactly the contents we are able to see here in this component, their relationships, and sometimes we may talk about nodes and interfaces using what we can implement. So the components commonly contain first one components. So the major basic building block you have to specify for any diagrams with the like bullets only. Interfaces, dependencies, and the kinds of all the relationships we can specify. Okay, so component diagrams not only contains the components in that, but also it can have contains packages or subsystems or sometimes group of models into large chunks, and sometimes instance of a component diagram, some part of component diagram if it is a complex system, so some part of it we can say, or some instance of the family. So that's what I was telling you. If it is a complex one, so part of it also can be shown. Okay, and then moving on to the next subheading under terminology, third one, it is about common uses. So where exactly these diagrams are used? And these component diagrams, as we know, so they are static. Okay, and they used during implementation view of a system. So during implementation only we are going to use components, yes or no, DLLs, .exes and all. Okay, and this we primarily supports the configuration management of the system aspects. Why? Because during execution the libraries and all will be connected. Okay. So here the component diagrams are used in 4 different ways. So the first one, we are talking about source code. Okay. So the code using integrated development environment that store your source code in files. So we'll see examples for each and everything. So for now, we just concentrate on source code. So what is a basic code, where exactly we store, and how in component diagrams we can show that, and where exactly it is useful. So I'll show you that using examples and diagrams in the next thing, common modeling techniques. Executable releases. By seeing the name itself, executable releases means .exes. Okay, so the executables are the releases which focuses on parts necessary to deliver the running system. And physical databases. So how the existence of the databases are there, and physically how we can show those diagrams and all is given in the physical databases. And then adaptable systems. So by seeing the name we can make out. Adaptable means the systems which are good and which are serving the purpose of the current situation. So then their systems can be used. So such systems we call it as adaptable systems. Okay, so let's see the definitions given here. Some systems are quite static. Okay, so their components enter the scene and participate in the execution and then depart. Okay, so this is about static ones. Static ones, when we are installing some .exe. So those are the things what we have done. Static, which is there. Okay, but whereas in the other way, sometimes it may be dynamic also. The other systems are more dynamic, involving mobile agents or components that migrate for the purpose of load balancing and failure recovery. Okay, so this can be either exist in static or dynamic. So let's see all these 4 uses in common modeling techniques with examples. Okay, so the first one is about modeling source code. Okay, in order to model a source code, so first we have to check either by forward or reverse engineering, identify the set of source code files. So what are all the source code files existing for the scenario of interest, and model them as components stereotyped as files. Okay, and for larger systems we use packages to show the group of code of files. And not only that, we can also use tagged values by giving the information such as version number and the source code files, author and date. So the things can be more clearly given by using tagged values. And we can use tools to manage this value of the tag also. And model the compilation dependencies among the files by using the different kinds of relationships what they exist. So if you see the example of the source code files as signal.h. See, in C++, you might be including import in C or C++, import io.h, stdio.h or conio.h, math.h. So all those are the header files. But these header files internally, they are going to depend on one another. Okay, so here the example of signal.h we are talking about, which we call it as a header file, and 3 of its versions are shown here, tracing from new version back to their older ancestors. And each variant of this source code file is rendered with the tagged value exposing the version and the details. Okay, so if you see here, signal.h is the source code, and here we are specifying the version. So whichever the new versions are coming up, so with the existing one only, some more updations have been done. So that's why the new versions are depending on the older version. So that's how we give the dependency sign on that. Okay, so this is the parent for 4.0 version and 3.5 version. So 4.1 version is depending on 4.0, 4.0 is depending on 3.5 version. So the old versions are acting like parent and the new versions are children. Okay, and updation of what was existing in older versions have been done in the new versions. Okay, so that's how we get signal.h version 4.1. I hope this sequence you might have understood. And then on signal.h, so maybe signal.cpp. So C++ file, signal.c++. So in this file, I'm saying import signal.h. So that means this file, the source code, whatever for .cpp we are importing signal.h. That means this .cpp is depending on this header file for its execution during its execution time. Okay, so that's how we are showing. So that is what we talk about source code. Okay, source code is a basic code. And then this inter.cpp, maybe some other .cpp file also is depending on signal.h. And in turn, this is depending on irq.h, and device.cpp is depending on this .cpp. Maybe in one .cpp file, you can also call the other CPP files. When you are doing a project, maybe one screen, if you are having home page, you are having within the home page, you are going to call all the submodules there. Yes, so you may call in any way, either in the form of a link, or when you say next, it may be connecting to the next page. So likewise, each code, whatever the different codes you are writing, are depending on one another. Okay, so this is about source code. Okay, so then moving on to the second common modeling technique is about executable releases. So executable is nothing but .exe files. So during execution time, so what are the things we use? And during execution, how these component diagrams are useful. Here also first we need to identify the components based on what model you have considered, and then involve some or all the components that live on one node. So during execution time, so what are the components, and those components lives on what servers and all also need to be considered, and the distribution of these set of components across all the nodes in the system. So if it is a distribution environment, all these things are there, so that we have to check, and also give the stereotype for each component to set this. Okay, so where exactly they are given. And the more systems, we find the different kinds of components. So the components can be maybe like executables, libraries, tables, documents. If you remember, we were talking about component types, standard elements under components. So a component can be an executable, a component can be a library, a component can be a table, file, document. This thing we have studied under components chapter. So executables means it will have .exe, a component carrying .exe. Libraries means a component carrying .dlls. Tables means a component containing tables in that. Files, so it can be any kind of file. Okay, and documents .docs. Okay, so these are the things. And for each component, so we can also consider the relationships and to its neighbors, and the connections also can be given. Okay. So here we are considering the example of executable release. Executable release for an autonomous robot. So here we are going to focus on the deployment component. Deployment means runtime. Okay. So during deployment, when that robo have to be implemented, okay, show its execution part. So that is what we call deployment, and association with robots driving and calculation of the functions. So those we'll see here now. Okay, so this is the diagram we are talking about, modeling and executable release. Okay, path.dll is the executable release. Okay, so whether this .dll motor connected for the path sensors, so is working properly or not, so that they are checking. Okay, that is the deployment, the execution of one component. So this is depending on collision.dll. In order to take one path and a step forward, so using sensors, so it is going to check whether an obstacle is there or not. Okay, if sensor detects an obstacle, so then it diverts its path and takes the other step in the other direction. Okay, so that is one way, and this path.dll is also depending on the DLLs of driver.dll. Okay, for which this driver.dll is implemented using two interfaces, that is interface drive and interface self test. Okay, so this is about executable releases, and then moving on to physical databases. So physical database here means, so how existence of the physical database in real time, how it is existing. Okay, so that is emphasized here. Okay, so to model physical databases, so first we need to identify the classes in the model that represent logical database schema, and then select the mapping of these classes to tables. Okay, and the physical distribution of the databases, and then we specify what are the visualize, specify, construct and document of our mapping, and create a component diagram that contains components stereotyped as tables, and use tools to help you to transform this logical design into physical design. So here example is given as set of database tables drawn in the information system for a school. Okay, school.db is there. So this is the database. Okay, so the physical database here means not only the distribution environment of that, but also the logical aspects. How exactly this, see, when we are talking about a database, maybe you have done your mini projects, right? So when we ask you to show your database means you are going to show the different tables in your database what you have created. So a table for login, a table for storing the employee details, a table for storing employee salaries. So likewise, you may be showing the number of tables within your database for your project. So similarly here also, when we are talking about physical database means, so what exactly the database contains. So those things we are going to consider. Okay, so courses. So in a particular school, so what are the tables in order to maintain a school database? What are the different tables are used here? course table. So how many courses are there in each course, how many students are there and all. So department. So specific to department, instructor, school, student. Okay. So this is about physical database. And then moving on to the last common modeling technique, that is about adaptable systems. So the systems which are good enough for a particular situation can be adapted to do a particular task. Okay, so in order to model an adaptable system, so when common users we were talking about two ways. So for adaptable system, so one is static and the other one is dynamic. So in static parts we may use components, and in dynamic parts also we can use components. Static parts is something like .exes, whereas dynamic parts may be recovery of the system failure and all. Okay, so how exactly we can model this? The physical distribution of the components that may migrate from one node to another node. Okay, and which can be rendered in the component diagram. And when we model the action, cause and component to migrate, create a corresponding interaction diagram. So this is talking about static, and this point is based on dynamic, and there is dynamic aspects. If you need, we can use tagged values, and also we can show. Okay, so the adaptable systems, it can be used yes ma'am, it can be used in its branches also. What we can say, stubs they use as a servers. See, maybe if one school is there, they have so many branches. So once the system is implemented in one school, so it is very successful. The same thing they want to implement for all its branches. So then that system becomes an adaptable system. Okay. So here if you see, the database on server B replicates the database on server A. It's just the copy. Okay, but this copy will exist for one branch of school, and this will exist for another branch of school. Okay. So these are the things what we were talking about, common modeling techniques. So under common modeling techniques, we were talking about four common modeling. So the first one, if you remember, we were talking about, yes ma'am, anyone? What is the first common modeling technique we were talking about? Yes, I want you to answer. The first one we were talking about the source code. So that is about signal.h example I was telling you. And the next one is executable releases. Okay, so that is the different signal.h version 4.1 is depending on 4.0, and in turn it's depending on 3.9 and all. And physical databases means what exactly the database contains. Okay, so the relational database or the schema of that database. So what the database is having, what are the different tables and all. Adaptable systems, we show just the replicates or the copy for the sub branches. About adaptable systems. So these are the common model techniques we learned. So the last one is about, third part under any diagram chapter is about forward and reverse engineering. So as we know, forward engineering is nothing but modeling code from the existing model, and reverse from code to model or diagram what. So here components are themselves physically things of, so executables, libraries, tables, files and documents. I was just emphasizing on this when we were learning. So when we want to do the forward engineering, what we have to do? So for which diagram you want to do the forward engineering, or a part of it also you can take. For each component you want to do forward engineering. That means for this component you want some block of code. Okay, so identify the classes or collaborations that the component implements and target for each component and the source code, and then use the tools in order to forward engineer your data. And reverse engineering, it's nothing but getting the model from code. Okay, so for that first we have to choose the reverse engineer and select the source code what you have to reverse engineer, and whether they are executable releases or whatever, and use the tool and point out the code what you want to reverse engineer, and create the component diagram by querying the model and get back the model. So here the example is given. So component diagram that represents the reverse engineering of ActiveX component vbrun.dll is given here. Okay, so they had some block of code for this DLL, but when it is reverse engineered, so this is how it is going to show. Okay, vbrun.dll is a component. Okay, so in turn it is connected to data binding, hyperlink, contained controls, property bag, asynchronous property, eminent properties, data bindings, data object files, selected controls, parent controls, data object. So this is how when block of code is reverse engineered, you get the model back. So that is what we call it as reverse engineering. Okay, so this is the topic I wanted to do it today. So this is about component diagrams.